Hey, everybody. Welcome to our panel on DeFi AI. The Bitcoin DeFi future is AI on Stacks. Anyone in the Stacks ecosystem knows a thing or two about finding intersections between ideas. And so, as Stacks is looking to scale Bitcoin, AI is looking to enhance DeFi. Our panel today is all about the future of Bitcoin DeFi through this lens of artificial intelligence. And so, we'll chat today on Bitcoin being the currency of AI, as well as diving into deeper use cases here in the Stacks ecosystem. I'm Jason. I do marketing at Trust Machines. So I'd first like to start out quickly, letting all of our panelists introduce themselves and their projects. Dylan, maybe we start with you.
Yeah, hey, thanks, Jason. Great to be here. I'm Dylan, the co-founder of Bitflow Finance. We built decentralized exchange infrastructure that makes it easy to trade and earn with your Bitcoin, making it easy for that liquidity to flow.
Amazing. Jason, I'll pass it to a fellow Jason.
All right. Well, I'm Jason. I'm a builder with the AI BTC Dev Working Group. So we call ourselves AI BTC because we're at the intersection of those two, exploring what the autonomy of agents can bring to the sovereignty and self-custody of Bitcoin.
And we'll go to your fellow AI BTC member here,
Hi.
Publius.
Hey, how's it going? I am Jason's partner in crime on AIBTC. We're trying to make AI DAOs happen, and we've already gotten AIs using stacks and Bitcoin. So we're excited for the next stage.
Amazing. And last but not least, Hayden.
Hi, I'm Hadan with the Alex Lab Foundation. At Alex, we're the largest DEX on Stacks and across Bitcoin DeFi layers. And we're using AI to create a more seamless user interface through AI smart contracts.
And Hadan, I would love to start with you here to dig into some of the challenges first, so then we can talk about, some of the solutions that AI brings. What are you seeing over with Alex, or just in general in your research on some challenges with AI implementation?
Sure. So I'd say, the reason that we're pursuing AI-powered smart contracts and AI-powered interface is, if anyone's onboarded someone new into DeFi, you sort of learn along the process that you get a whole lot of questions. What's a slippage? What's impermanent loss? What does it mean to be a liquidity provider? And by using an AI interface, one, you can have 24/7 customer support. But more importantly than that, it's that through AI-powered smart contracts, for instance, a user through a text or even a voice interface can directly say, I want to swap 0.05 Bitcoin into stacks. The AI will respond back what the slippage, what the minimum rate is. The user can hit confirm. The AI can say what the transaction fees are. And this way, it's very smooth and seamless instead of having to jump between boxes or manage multiple wallet interfaces or multiple layers.
Dylan, I would love to go to you for the same question on the Bitflow side. And what you all are seeing is maybe immediate or the newest challenges here in figuring out AI and DeFi.
Yeah, sure. I think it's a lot of kind of Web 2 problems, maybe with like a Web 3 security spin, and then also with the 24/7 liveness. Um, when you're talking about AI powered smart contracts, right? Smart contracts are not self-executing. So what we've deployed is like each user that logs in to the app gets their own personal smart contract wallet. And then there's a keeper service running in the background that gets to execute requests that they've made. And it's like an approved set of actions, like performing a trade or staking, right? Auto harvesting the yield. Um, but the AIs are limited in a secure way to only execute those actions, and only execute those actions in a way where the funds can go exclusively back to that user. And also just on the security side, that was it was a fun challenge to work through, right? But so we for with each user getting their own personal smart contract wallet, they're the only entity that can withdraw funds from that wallet. So it's the challenges are making something that isn't naturally self-executing feel like magic, and also doing it in a secure way.
That's a great segue too, because the opportunity here is to make things feel like magic, as you said, to use your words, Dylan. Publius, maybe I go to you here. What are the opportunities you're seeing as far as some of these challenges exist? New challenges will come up. Mainstream adoption of AI is still strong. Where are you like really leaning in when you're thinking about the opportunity here in this space?
Yeah, sure. I personally think that over 90, maybe even over 99% of all on-chain transactions by within the next 10 years will be done through machine intelligence. And so if you also believe that, then you'd say, okay, well, what are the things that the machines are going to do? They're, they can, yeah, sure, they can trade for you, but they also might end up being more agentic than they are today. Where today we prompt them to get them to work. Maybe in several years they actually just work autonomously, and I think there's a potential to create AI-only companies where basically you have fully autonomous AIs operating as companies with their own cap tables. And I think that's going to be like a multi-billion, maybe trillion plus dollar opportunity. And I think it's going to happen on Bitcoin. And it's why we are focusing on AI DAOs. Right now, we're basically building something that is like almost like an AI assisted DAO with security and just like fail safes in place. But who knows? Maybe several years from now, it's all AI doing everything. So we just think it's one of the biggest opportunities we can imagine. So that's what we're working on.
Thinking about it completely, automating this process, we have to balance security, right? And we have to balance the idea that the Bitcoin ethos and people coming to Bitcoin, want that reserve of security. Jason, maybe you can speak to this. How do we balance innovating at a fast clip with AI and making things more automatic and autonomous with making sure that we're communicating the proper amount of security?
Definitely a good thing to consider. And I think Dylan hit on a good point earlier too. It's like first off, giving users ways to self-custody their funds, but to enable additional actions. I think that's an awesome way to go about it. I love what they're doing with keepers. The idea that like there's a smart contract out there that holds my funds. I'm the only person who can withdraw, but these other actions can still happen autonomously. We're doing something very similar to that, but bigger picture there, my answer is to do things in layers. We're not going to go full on to that 100% autonomous world, but DAOs have gotten a bad rap because the autonomy really hasn't been there. And I think this is an opportunity to kind of layer that into place. So with what we're building in particular, we're starting with some predefined, lower quorum, easier to vote on actions, and just securing that loop of going from proposal being created to proposal being concluded with as much automation as possible and feeling safe. And also just leveraging what we have in Clarity to be able to create some of these smart contracts for a purpose. So just like you have one that would be for user custody, you have another that represents like a DAO's treasury. And there's, again, all sorts of these different layers that play together to expose as little as possible, but enable us to move as fast as possible.
I love that. Hadan, I want to go to you on the builder side of this conversation. If we're talking to builders specifically in stacks, where should they be looking, or how should they be thinking about implementing AI into their building stacks, into their process, what they want to offer for feature sets?
Sure. I think the starting place would be to approach it from the sort of user experience. And that our view, mass adoption is downstream of really an intuitive user experience. Find what those sort of friction points are, whether it's questions that users ask frequently, elements of the user interface or user experience that they find cumbersome or non-intuitive. Sometimes it helps to take someone who's only used Web 2 and set them down in front of Web 3 for the first time and just see, like what's the starting point? How do they begin to interact with it? How do they engage? And from there, work your way into how can you can start from the most basic level, say just AI as sort of like an automated FAQ that will address those initial questions, and then progressively start addressing those sort of pain points little by little. always bearing security in mind, and seeing if this is creating value, if this is, making this easier and more intuitive for users to interact with. That's been the approach that we're taking.
I love that. I want to wrap. I know I mentioned it at the beginning of the call. I want to wrap our conversation up by going just a little bit to the higher level and talking about AI and Bitcoin together. So if I maybe level this to the whole panel here and jump in if you have an answer, do you believe that BTC Bitcoin is going to be the set currency for AI at a broader level, not just Stacks DeFi, not just Bitcoin DeFi, but where do we feel like these two live together in a broader sense?
Yeah,
Yes.
Sorry,
go ahead, Dylan.
Yeah, just yes, yeah. I think the novelty of combining, AI and DeFi is that's kind of a given everywhere, but I think everybody on this panel is kind of making a bet on permanence and performance, right? And we're doing that by building on Bitcoin, which has this gravity, to it where you feel like it's going to be around for the next 10, 50, 100 plus years. And also with performance and great user X by leveraging layer twos like Stacks.
Publius, go ahead.
Yeah, there's no capital controls on Bitcoin, and that means Bitcoin is a non-sovereign currency. And so if you have a global internet of AI agents that are using a currency and building for the future and trying to do business with each other, probably not going to choose something that they can get rugged. So but there's a really great post from Arthur Hayes called Massa, M-A-S-S-A, and another one called MoAI, M-O-I-A. Those are like definitely worth reading. Some of those writings sort of inspired some of our work, at least, and I think it'll put a seed of an idea in your head of where this is all going.
Amazing. I know we only just scratched the surface with this, but we are unfortunately out of time. Thank you everybody for chatting about DeFi and AI. And if you're listening to this and you want to learn more, feel free to follow any of these people on Twitter and learn more, or X, I should say. Thanks, everybody.